end. The strong northwest wind will be at their back, and they will be kicking from left to right across your radio dial, kicking toward the Newport Country Club. Greyhounds will be returning it toward the concession stand on the west end of the field. Two Class AAA powers for many, many years, both with a state championship under their belt in the decade of the 80s. Greyhounds with two other final appearances in the 80s. Semi and quarterfinal appearances. Wynn Yellow Jacket fans on their feet, Greyhound fans on their feet. This is everything that high school football is supposed to be. Jackets, he's one of their fine running backs. He approaches the ball, kicks it deep down the middle with the wind. It will carry into back to the 1-yard line, and now a touchback is called as Ellis went back into the end zone and got it. We'll start at the 20-yard line for the Greyhounds, 1st and 10. In high school ball, if the ball is kicked into the end zone or muffed into the end zone, it is automatically returned to the 20-yard line. You cannot run it out of the end zone in high school ball on a kickoff.
We talked about that on the field before the ball game, what the team would do with kicking the football. We felt like the team that elected to receive would carry the football at the 20-yard line. That's where the Hounds are going to start.
David, you said you would have taken the win had you won the toss.
Well, I know it's going to be breezy, and I just hate to say it's so hard to drive that football 80 yards.
So the Greyhounds come to the line of scrimmage at their 20-yard line, and this one's about to get underway. Full house backfield. Here's the handoff option play. Pitch on the corner. Phillips has 5-6 yards. Good gain for Tony Phillips before he's hit hard and knocked down on the option play to the left side. Phillips carries it out to near the 27-yard line. And a pickup of 7, 2nd down and 3 for the Greyhounds.
Vince Beasley makes the tackle for the Wynn Yellow Jackets. He's a linebacker. Vince is 5'9", 200 pounds, and he's also a track star and a speedster.
And a sophomore and an outstanding athlete for the Yellow Jackets. 2nd and 3 for the Greyhounds at the 27-yard line. Full house backfield again behind Paul Miller, the Newport quarterback. 2nd and 3. They give straight ahead and 1st down for Phillips to the 40 before he's driven back. And he should have enough for the 1st down. Had to get right to the 40, and according to the spot, he has it. Should be 1st and 10. It was Ellis who carried the football for the Greyhounds. And it's over to the left side, drops straight back, wants to throw out into the flat to Phillips on the screen. Bubba has good yardage. Bubba has about 8 or 9. Close to another 1st down. Had he not slipped catching the ball, he'd gotten a lot more.
That's a play that we've not seen the Hounds run since the opening ball game against Mount Home. The screen pass, Wynn using double coverage on Darling and covering both tight ends running out. So what those 3 guys did is took care of 4 defensive backs, and Bubba was open over there, and he got a good block from Hembry.
It's a pickup of 9 to the 49, 2nd and 1 for the Greyhounds, and Miller good on his first pass attempt of the ball game for 9 yards. Reardon comes in motion this way. There's the give straight ahead. Phillips has 3 or 4 yards before he's driven back. Has the 1st down across the 40 to the 43. A pickup of about 4 for Tony. And it will be 1st down and 10 for the Newport Greyhounds, who have moved it against the wind from their 20 out to the 43.
Rutledge, Steiger, Hembry, Strickland, Allison, Carlton, along with the Reardon and Hinkle alternating at the tight end, or the blockers up front for the Hound offensive line.
Wynn with that 5 front defensive look. Now move a man up to make it a 6 look, a 6-3. Hounds fake inside. Here's Miller wanting to go deep down the middle for Darling. It is overthrown and intercepted by the Jackets down at the 25-yard line, but that's all right. That's about as good as a punt into the wind. Jackets come up with the intercept, but they are at their 25-yard line trying to hit Darling, and he was well covered. 1st down for the Jackets. They start at their 25, and we'll see the awesome threesome, see what the Newport defense can do with them. 9:44 to go, clock moving, 1st quarter, no score. Jackets to the line of scrimmage. Bronner is the quarterback. There's a quick pitch to the left side, breaks tackles into the secondary, and he's gone. It's a touchdown for Wynn on the 1st play of the game, as number 41, Eugene Meeben, breaks through the Greyhound defenders and goes for the touchdown, 75 yards. Woo! And Meeben ignites the Wynn crowd across the way. Just the quick pitch to the left side, and Meben goes 75 yards. He broke 2 tackles at the line of scrimmage, and the Jackets jump to an early 6-0 lead with the extra point attempt coming. David, nothing difficult about that. Pretty simple play. Pitch it and go.
Same thing we saw last week against Mariana, just Newport missing tackles, and Wynn gets the early lead.
Extra point attempt by the Jackets. 9:22 to go, and Wynn has stunned the Greyhounds on the first offensive play of the game. Meben going 75 yards for the score. On the extra point attempt, ball is down, kick is up, and it is good. 9:22 to go. Wynn leads 7-0 first quarter, back with a kickoff in 30 seconds.
You're familiar with Root.
It was quick and sudden as Wynn jumps out to a 7-0 lead. And Cross will kick the ball. Ellis is deep for Newport at the 3-yard line. Cross put it in the end zone last time. It's headed there again, although Ellis comes up and gets it at the 5. He'll return it up the middle to the 10, to the 15-yard line, across the 20, to the 25, the 27, and a flag thrown, maybe a late hit on the Jackets. That might cost them 15 yards. It's either a late hit or a clip, and a little extracurricular activity away from the ball there. Ball is down at the 27-yard line in Greyhound territory, and we'll await. It is a clip against the Greyhounds. We thought it was a late hit, and I could tell from where the flag was thrown it might be a clip. So things haven't started well for Newport. The mighty Wynn offense has scored on the first play and leads 7-0, and Newport's going to have to start deep in its own end of the field against a 20-mile-an-hour north wind on a cold, cold night. The Yellow Jackets have stunned the Greyhounds. Only the second time all year Newport has trailed.
One of the bread and butter plays the Wynn Yellow Jackets is just to pitch the football and run outside, and they saw in the films last week that Mariana had some success with it, and boy, did Meben show the speed. 75 yards for a score, and the Hounds are deep in their own territory.
And he's the slowest of the 3 guys in the backfield. First down, Hounds back at their 14-yard line. They give off the right side. A flag is thrown in the pile, a gain of a yard to the 15, but another flag, and that might be holding from where that one was thrown. And the Hounds are guilty of holding. So that'll cost them some more if Wynn accepts the penalty and move Newport back inside its 10-yard line. 8:57 to go, first quarter. Wynn leads it 7-0. Kept telling people all week how good these guys were. They've refused the penalty. They'll take the play. Basically a gain of 1, 2nd and 9 for the Greyhounds. Kept telling everybody how good the Jackets were, and nobody really believed me. 8:50 remaining. First quarter, clock moving. The Hounds would love to get the first quarter over and get the wind at their back. Second down and 9 for the Greyhounds from the 15. Option play, Miller with the ball, cuts up. Miller fighting for yardage across the 20, short of the first down. To the 23, had to go to the 24 for the first down. Third down, going to need about a yard for the first. Miller running the option play well to the left side.
Bill Keaty thought coming in that Newport could run the option very, very successfully against this Wynn defense, and the 2 times that we've gone wide with the football, Miller has kept both times for good yardage.
8:32 to go, first quarter, 7-0, the Yellow Jackets lead. Third down and a yard for the Greyhound.
A key for the Hound offense is not to punt into the wind, as you alluded to and talked about. They're wanting to get the quarter over.
20 to 25 mile an hour wind now with higher gusts. Hand off to Ellis. He fights second effort. I don't think he got it. I don't think Ellis got the first down off right tackle. I think it's going to be fourth down for the Hounds, and they're still going to need a yard. Newport will send the kicking team into the game. On fourth down and a yard from the 23. 7:55 to go, first quarter, and the Hounds in real difficult shape against a great football team, the Wynn Yellow Jackets, who send Meben back deep to his 45-yard line. And watching the kids kick it in practice, there's no way he could kick it much more than 20, 25 yards into this wind. The line of scrimmage is the 24-yard line. Reardon is back, gets the kick away. The Wynn grabs it. It will hit at the 40 and take a Newport roll out to the Newport 48-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10 for the Jackets at the Newport 40s at the 43-yard line. 43-yard line. Our down markers are down on the sideline. They've been blown over by the wind. It's at the 43. So a 19-yard kick into the wind, which is not bad. First down for the Jackets. Here they come up out of that line of scrimmage again. 7:20 to go, first quarter. Jackets scored on their first play. Pitch again to the second back through. He breaks tackles and has good yardage. Pick up of about 5 inside the 40 to the 38-yard line, and carrying the ball is Rodney Cross.
Well, this Wynne Yellow Jacket football team has not had to throw the football any this year. They just pitch it back to the bread and butter and go.
Pick up a 4, 2nd and 6 for the Jackets. 6:55 to go, first quarter. Wynn leading it 7-0. The elements have really hampered Newport, team that likes to throw the football in key situations. 2nd down and 6. And now a flag is dropped and stops the play as Wynn running back was headed up the middle. Looks like Newport has jumped off sides on the extra count given by the Wynn quarterback. Or did the Jackets move first? Did the Jackets move first, drawing Newport offside? We'll see. And the call is a dead ball procedure against Wynn.
Well, I think Newport got a break right there. It was the long snap count.
And now the referee is also saying offsides against Newport, offsetting penalties. Well, I guess they both moved at the same time. At the time the offensive lineman moved, the Newport man had penetrated the neutral zone. So they call it offsetting, and we'll do it over again. 2nd down and 6. Ball at the Newport 39-yard line. Wynn trying to gain a huge advantage here in the first quarter. They're 7-1. They lost on opening night to Dollaway 21-0. They've been a different team since then. Quick pitch to the right side. He turns the corner, has some running room. First down yardage, and he may go. 20, 15, 10, down near the goal line, knocked out of bounds short of the goal line. And the Jackets running rampant wide against the Greyhounds. And that again is Eugene Meben, and he carries it down inside the 5-yard line. And David at outside speed there, just absolutely tremendous for the Jackets. Newport can't stop them.
Tremendous speed by the Wynne Yellow Jackets. They're blocking up front. When they get the ball to the corner, they just got to block one guy, and they're getting him blocked. Newport did catch him down there inside the 1-yard line. Wynn with a great opportunity here to really put Newport down early in the ball game.
First and goal from about the 2, we'll call it. Jackets in their diamond backfield formation, and now perhaps a violation as one of the Jackets looks like he lined up in the neutral zone. That'll cost him 5 yards. Make it a little more difficult anyway. Illegal procedure against Wynn. 6:10 to go in the first quarter, and Wynn leads it 7-0. Greyhounds have been stunned here in the early going by the Jackets. Oh, boy, and they have done it running to the corner twice. First and goal from the 7-yard line. Jackets are set to give us to the second back through. He's hit it about the 5 and knocked down pretty hard by the Greyhound defense. Short gain as Cross carried the football. It'll be 2nd down and goal from about the 6-yard line. He got just short yardage, and timeout is asked for by Wynn. We'll pause 30 seconds, 7-0. Jackets lead it. We'll be right back. Run their base offense and run it around the Greyhounds.
Well, I think one of Newport's biggest fears was the great speed that we've talked about so much here in the first 6 minutes of the ball game. Wynn has shown that speed. Boy, for a goal line stand here would certainly give Newport the momentum. Here's where the fans need to get into the ball game.
Newport defense struggled a little at times against Osceola and had their problems against Mariana. And Wynn has them on the ropes here in the early going. 2nd down and goal from the 6. There's a trap play up the middle. He gets a couple of yards before he's hit hard by the Greyhound defenders. It'll be 3rd and goal Well, Newport making somewhat of a goal line stand. 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line for the Jackets. 5:45 to go. First quarter. Wynn leading 7-0. If you hold them here on 3rd down, and you've got a chance to turn momentum. You hold them on 3rd, you set up a decision for them whether they want to try for a touchdown or a field goal. But here's the key play, 3rd and goal from the 5. The quick pitch, second back throw, off to the 3-yard line and driven down short of the goal line. To about the 3. It'll be 4th and goal for the Wynn Yellow Jackets.
So tough when you get inside that 10-yard line to carry that thing. Your whole offensive scheme changes.
So the Greyhounds trying to make a great goal line stand at the 4-yard line. Will Wynn go for it? 4:55 to go. No sign of a field goal here. They're going to go for it on 4th down. It might be the key play of the football game early in the first quarter.
I think you look for the tight end, number 88, on a pop pass. The linebacker must be there for the Hounds.
4th and goal. They spread the offense out. Quarterback rolls to his right. Quarterback's being chased. Quarterback is... He did not get anywhere close. The Hounds have held at the 11 or 12-yard line.
Boy, you talking about a momentum change. The Hound defense comes up. Wynn had run the football down to the 1-yard line. They got the penalty. Back to the 7. The Hound defense is held, and this is an opportunity of a lifetime for the Greyhound football team.
Newport will get it at its 13-yard line. They're about, call it the 12-yard line, they put it. I think it's closer to the 13. First down, Newport, 4:30 to go. First quarter, 7-0 Win. Tremendous goal line stand by the Greyhounds. Hounds up over the football. Miller sends a man in motion. Paul Miller, the quarterback, on the straight ahead play to Ellis. He won't get much of anything. Hounds finding it tough going up inside against the Jackets. Might have gotten a yard. 2nd down and 9 as Ellis carried the football. 4 minutes remaining, first quarter. Hounds want to run the clock out here in the first quarter, make some first downs, get the wind in the second period. And Newport may have just saved themselves and stayed in the football game with a goal line stand. Need to make some first downs against this Wynn defense. Into a 20-mile-an-hour wind. It's tough. You're on into the field. Miller drops back. Miller throws into the flat. Caught by Darling. Darling has a first down to the 25-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Greyhounds. They'll mark him at the 24, and the Hounds have to throw that football.
As difficult as that pass is, without the win, a tremendous play by Paul Miller getting the football to Darling, who was wide open over in the right flat against the win.
7-0 Jackets lead, but Newport has made a tremendous goal line stand and now picked up a first down at their 24-yard line. Split receiver to the right side. Miller, the quarterback. Miller, the second back through, and a gain of a couple off left tackle. The Wynn defense remains tough up inside. The Hounds have had some success on the corner, and that time it is Ellis carrying the football again.
3 minutes, 10 seconds to play here in the first quarter. The Hounds trying to punch themselves out of a hole against a very, very good Wynn defense.
A couple of first downs would give Newport, get them into the second quarter and give them the wind.
This Wynn defense is not allowed a touchdown, but the first team defense is not allowed a touchdown since the second game of the year.
2:50 to go first quarter, 7-0 Jackets. Miller fakes, hands off to Phillips. Phillips runs over some people. Phillips still going. Phillips has close to the first down, and now a face mask penalty against the Wynn Yellow Jackets. It's going to give Newport a first down out near midfield. I believe the marker went down about the 35-yard line. 2:41 to go in the quarter, 7-0 Win, and the Hounds trying to get a little momentum going here.
Determination by Tony Bubba Phillips. I guarantee you he was hit 3 times. He kept churning for the extra yardage. They grabbed the face mask and finally hauled him down that way. So the Hounds are cooking. They'll set up shop at the 47.5-yard line. 2:41 to play in the first quarter, and the Newport Hounds are on their feet.
Hounds at least have gained some field position. Bill Hinkle brings a play in from Coach Bill Keating. Newport at its own 47. Hinkle split to the left side. Paul Miller remains your quarterback into that strong wind of 25 to 30 miles an hour. Gives on the option play, keeps the ball, pitches it. Phillips has good yardage. Phillips about 8 or 9 more into Wynn territory. Inside the 45 to the 44-yard line of the Jackets. This is Tony Phillips.
The success that the Greyhounds have had in that, Bud, have been running the option wide. We've seen it run 3 times this way for good yardage, which would be to the left side, and that time Miller goes to the right side and pitched to Bubba for a pickup of about 8 yards.
Beautiful pitch, and Wynn had nobody on the pitch man until he was 8 yards deep.
And looking at the films for the last couple of weeks, the Hound offensive coaching staff, Coach Keaty and Coach Mathis, thought that they would have trouble covering the pitch man.
2nd down and 2 for the Greyhounds at the Jacket 44-yard line. Hounds still moving into that wind, straight ahead, and a couple of yard pickup before being driven back close to a 1st down, depending on the spot. And we'll wait and see as Ellis carries the football, and this one may be close enough to measure, depending on where the officials put it down. Looks like it's going to be 3rd down and less than a yard needed for the 1st. Minute 25 to go, 1st quarter. Hounds will get the wind in the 2nd quarter. Need to make this 1st. Wynn will crank a lot of people down inside on this. 3rd down and 1. Hounds run the offside play. Jackets don't jump. Newport asks for a timeout. 1:11 to go. 7-0 Jackets 1st quarter. Let's pause 30 seconds. Conference championship. Newport Greyhounds ranked #1 in the state. Stunned early by the Yellow Jackets. Eugene Meebman, a 75-yard sprint around left end for a score. Wynn got the ball right back, had a 1st and goal at the 2. Greyhounds stopped them on 4th down. And since then, Newport has moved the ball from its 12-yard line down to the 43 of the Jackets, where they face a 3rd down and 1. Needing to get another 1st down here to avoid having to punt into the wind. Here comes Rutledge up over the football. That Wynn defense has been tough up inside. 3rd down and 1. Reardon, the power back to the left side. Here's the give straight ahead. Bubba Phillips, 1st down and more. Into the secondary goes Phillips inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 1st and 10 Greyhounds. Bubba Phillips with power off left tackle.
Well, good blocking up front that time. Steiger and Otteson were on the left side of the offensive line, and they got the key blocks for Phillips.
Newport Greyhounds on the move. They'll move the chains. 1st down for the Greyhounds, and Newport should be able to continue moving this football and keep possession and get the wind on this series. 28-yard line of the Jackets. 1st down Greyhounds. 50 seconds to go, 1st quarter clock moving. Wynn leads 7-0. Reardon in motion this way. They give us to Ellis straight ahead. He keeps, Miller does it to faking to Ellis. Dives up inside for about 2 or 3 to the 26-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 2 for Paul. 2nd down and 8, we'll call it, for the Greyhounds at the 26. 30 seconds remaining 1st quarter. This could be the last play of the 1st quarter coming up. Then the Hounds will get the wind. Newport's thinking touchdown. They've had a great drive into the wind. 2nd down and 8. Full house backfield for Newport. Split receiver to the right side. The option play. Miller keeps it. He'll get just a couple before he's driven back. 24-yard line. It'll be an important 3rd and 6 for the Hounds coming up. That is the end of the 1st quarter with the score. Wynn 7, Newport nothing. Big play coming. We'll pause 30 seconds for this timeout. I mean, the Jacket fans went wild earlier, and now the Newport fans encouraging their team. This has been a beautiful drive by the Greyhounds, but it doesn't need to stall. It's 3rd down and long. 3rd down and 5 at least needed, and closer to 6 for the Greyhounds at the 24. They got to go to about the 18. Hounds have had success pitching the ball on the corner. Now Newport has the wind, and now Miller might be able to start cranking it up. 7-0 Jackets lead. Here's Darling coming to the right side. He'll pick up double coverage. Reardon goes in motion. 3rd down and 6. Miller, fake handoff. Miller option play. Miller cuts up inside. Miller looking for the 1st down. Miller has it. Miller to the 10-yard line, to the 5. Miller to the 1-yard line. To the 1-yard line. Paul Miller running over, around, through people. Carries it down near the 1-yard line for the Greyhounds. Everybody covered the pitch man that time, and Paul Miller sprinted 23 yards to the 1. Great execution by Miller. Again, the pitch man was covered. He just tucked the ball up under the hand, under the arm, and went straddling down to the goal line, and the Hounds knocking on the door, trying to tie this thing up here early in the 2nd quarter. 1st and goal, Greyhounds at the 1. Bunts line to the right side for the Greyhounds. From the 1-yard line, Miller straight ahead. Ellis, touchdown. Touchdown, Ellis to the Greyhounds. A 1-yard dive for Ellis. Denmark will come in to try the extra point. I think extra points aren't important. Remember, it's very, very wet down there where McClarty has to snap the ball and Charlie Moore has to hold it, and the hands are cold. Jesper has to kick it. The footing is poor. There's a snap. Ball down. Kick on the way. Kick is good. 11:42 to go in the first half. We're tied at 7. Back with a kickoff in 30 seconds.
Glenn's TV and Appliance, Malcolm Avenue in Newport, announces their best sale ever on Amana refrigerators. At Glenn's, they've got Amana refrigerators running out their ears. So says Glenn Breckenridge and says, move them.
Hit 87 yards, most of it into the wind, against this vaunted Yellow Jacket defense in 11 plays, and ate up the remainder of the first quarter. And now Newport in an even Steven game. Newport has the advantage. They have the win starting the second quarter, and we're even at 7.
As advertised.
Watch Meben. He's deep at the 5. He can fly on the kickoff return. Denmark will approach it, try to kick it deep. He line drives it down the middle. It is fielded by the outback Cobb. He'll run it down at the 6-yard line. Picks it up at that point, comes back up the middle, has some running room, and finally dragged down. Oh, he almost broke it. He gets across the 20 to 25 to the 27-yard line, and somebody got him by the ankle. Thank goodness.
But we talked during the break, the Newport defense is going to have to rise to that next level like they did on the previous drive by Wynn down on the goal line. You've just got to get yourself hyped up and ready to go and stop a great offensive football team.
The Jackets now look into that win. Newport's offense just took it 87 yards, most of it into the wind. Jackets with their 3 big backs in there. Bronner on the quick pitch to Cobb. Cobb is dragged down for a short game. Boy, he came close to popping it again, but somebody again got a hand on the knee, and a short gain of a yard for Matt Cobb.
The big run by Meben in the first offensive play for Wynn was that same type of play. They just pitched the football to the left. That one went to the right side, and Meben broke a tackle at the line of scrimmage. And if they break the first tackle, they're going to have some long runs. Newport has got to wrap up and get them on the first hit.
Second down and 9. Wynn has it, their 28-yard line. Tie game, 7-7. Long count by Bronner. Maybe changing it at the line of scrimmage. Gives on a handoff straight ahead, and the Hounds smothering for nothing. Nothing there for the Jackets, maybe a yard. 4th down and 8. It is James Griffin leading the charge, along with Darnell Morgan. And excited and intense, Herbert Lewis and Kenny Black, defensive coaches for the Greyhounds over here on the sideline. They are both very animated, to say the least. 3rd down and 8. The Jackets usually don't throw the ball much. They're facing a 20-mile-an-hour north wind. Hounds almost with an 8-man front. On 3rd down, here's a quick pitch to the left side. Meben cuts out, breaks a tackle, and he may be gone. Darnell grabs him and finally gets him out of bounds. Hounds miss a tackle at the line of scrimmage, and Darnell Morgan finally caught Meben in Greyhound territory at about the 47-yard line of the Greyhounds. Woo! Meben was close again. The Hounds had it played, David, but the man missed the tackle.
Jimmy McClure was there. He just could not get to Meben with a late burst of speed. Gives Wynn the first down, and they don't have to worry about how the wind's blowing. They don't throw the football. They just pitch it back and run as hard as they can to the outside.
And Meben has been their weapon to this point. Jackets coming right back into the wind. 1st and 10 for Wynn at the Newport 48-yard line. Here's the give to Meben off tackle. He fights ahead for 5 or 6 yards, spinning ahead. Boy, it's tough running. Hounds had him hit for a gain of 2, and he fell forward for about 3 more. Pick up a 4. Total, they give him 2nd and 6 inside the 45 to the 44.
Bud Wynn had a split receiver out here to the left side, and there was nobody from Newport secondary to cover him.
9 minutes, 12 seconds to go. First half, 7-7. Greyhounds and Jackets for the conference title. Perhaps the #1 ranking in Class AAA in the state. Second down and 6 for the Yellow Jackets. Out of that diamond formation, the pitch this side to Cross, and a flag stops it just as it gets going. Maybe a procedure penalty against the Jackets. That would cost them 5 and bring up second and 11. It is procedure against Wynn. So far, the Jackets have hurt Newport only with a couple of plays, Meben sweeping to the left side. The Tramps inside haven't hurt, and Cross hasn't hurt. But Meben has been tough. The Hounds themselves took it 87 yards on 11 plays for the tying touchdown. So far, the play of the game, the series, the goal line stand by the Greyhounds.
Meben has 140 yards already, most of that coming on the 75-yard touchdown run.
Quarterback drops straight back. Wants to throw, fires over the middle. It is incomplete. Double coverage by the Greyhounds, and the ball was thrown into that wind, and it was a dying quail.
The dying quail, but they had Cross wide open across the middle, but he would have to have thrown it. Bronner would have about 35 or 40 yards to get it there, and the Wynn did get it. That'll bring up third down for the Wynn Yellow Jackets. The Hound defense playing tough.
Third and 11 with the ball at the Newport 49-yard line. Hounds want to get it back. 8:38 to go first half. Hounds would like to get the win, get the offense going again. On third down and 11, will they throw it or will they try to go to Meben again? They send a split receiver to the left side, a flanker to the right side, two backs behind Bronner. The pitch is to the Meben. Meben breaks the tackle. Meben for no gain. He broke two tackles, but then the third man through. McClure. Jimmy McClure clobbered Eugene Meben. He pounded him, and one of the Hounds is shaken up on the play. Boy, what a hit over there. 8:26 to go, and the Jackets will face 4th and 13. Meben broke a couple of tackles, but then it was the big lick by Jimmy. Is it Jim that's shaken up? Boy, what a hit. He sacrificed his body for the benefit of the team and made the big tackle on Meben. McClure shaken up, and you hope he's just got the breath knocked out of him. That type of hit, boy. Jimmy's being assisted up. It's not Jimmy. Who's that? That is Chris Young, who is shaken up across the way. It is Young who was down, and he's okay. Walking off a little gingerly, but appears to be okay. 4th down and 12 for the Yellow Jackets. From between the, I'll call it the 49 of Newport.
Well, it looks as though if they haven't put the punting team on the football field yet, Bud, maybe they'd soon take their chances as opposed to punting. No, they do have the punter on the field now.
Newport sends two people back. It is McClure and Ford. Wynn kicking into that breeze of about 20 miles an hour. Here is the snap. Here is the kick. It will hit at about the 30 of Newport and take a Wynn roll down inside the 20 to about the 17 or 18-yard line with the Hounds putting it in play with the Wynn and the Newport defense rising to the occasion, stopping the Jackets. 8:05 remaining in the first half. What has been, as advertised, a great football game. We're tied at 7.
A 32-yard punt, which is fantastic against that Wynn. Jamie Taylor is the punter.
And now the Hounds have the Wynn to their back again. They got it the last few seconds of the first quarter. 7:55 to go in the first half, tied at 7. Newport and the Jackets. Paul Miller's your Newport quarterback. Split receiver to the left side. Full house backfield. There's the option play right side. Miller has about 3 or 4. Miller dives ahead for maybe 5 yards on the option play. Hounds continuing to take what the Jackets are giving him, and Miller made 6 on the option. He'll take that every time.
Ball up to the 24-yard line for the Hound offense. 7:25 to play in the first half. The ball game as advertised. Wynn broke on top 7-0 on the 75-yard touchdown run by Meben. The Hounds come back driving 87 yards. A Chris Ellis 1-yard run. We're tied at 7.
Pickup of 6 for the Greyhounds. Second down and 4 from the 24. Miller drops back. Miller fakes, fires. It is incomplete. Intended for Darling up across the 40-yard line, but just off his fingertips, incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 4 for the Greyhounds. 7:04 to go first half. In a 7-7 football game, Newport and Wynn. Wynn looked like the first 8 minutes they were going to blow it wide open. They led 7-0, had a 1st and goal to Newport 2. Hounds made a great goal line stand. Have come back to tie it at 7. Double wide outs for the Greyhounds. Miller looks it over. Miller on the give to Phillips. Phillips trying to turn the corner. He'll not get the first down. Driven down short of it. Newport tried to spread the defense. Instead of throwing it, tried to run it. Wish they'd thrown it. Paulsgrove was by himself up here at midfield. So it'll be 4th down, and Green Ridge will come in to kick it away. And you hope with the wind that he can kick it down about the 1-yard line. Line of scrimmage is the 24.
It'll be Meben and Cross deep for the Wynn Yellow Jackets. Meben has a couple of punt returns for touchdowns this year. 6.5 minutes to play and a half.
Both of them can fly. They're back at between their 30 and 40-yard line. Here is the snap. And the kick might have been partially blocked. It will hit Newport's 40 and bound near midfield and into Wynn territory at the 48, and the Jackets got a hand on it. They partially blocked it. But Wynn has it at its 48. Well, you were hoping to really be able to pin them deep there. 6:12 to go in the first half, tied at 7. But the ball was partially blocked, and the Hounds were fortunate to get a good 15-yard roll out of it to get it into Wynn territory. Jackets have it at their 48-yard line, 1st and 10. Warner, the quarterback, Cobb, Meben and Cross in the backfield. There's the give straight ahead, and Cross gets 5, 6, 7, 8 yards straight ahead to the Newport 44-yard line. Hard running by the fullback, Rodney Cross. They'll give him, say, his knees down. He got between 6 and 7, 2nd and 4 at the 45 of the Hounds.
Just a quick inside hitter by the fullback. We expected to give up some yards in the middle. Didn't expect to give up as many on the outside as what we've given.
5.5 minutes to go first half. We're tied at 7. Wynn going into the wind. 2nd down and 3. Quick pitch, right side, fumble the ball. It's loose, a scramble for it. Did Cobb get it, or did McClure get it for Newport? The Jackets come back up with it. Oh, for a minute it was loose, but Matt Cobb came back up with it for Wynn. A loss on the play. Back to the 48-yard line of the Greyhounds. And it will be 3rd down and 6.
4:55 to play in the half.
Big 3rd down play for the Jackets. We're tied at 7. Center comes up over the ball for a win.
Meben had a big run last time on 3rd and long.
Awesome threesome back there behind Bronner. Quarterback rolls left, wants to throw. He breaks the tackle, he's going to run. Now a fake, and a beautiful fake, and he fooled everybody, handed off up inside, and they got close to a 1st down to Cobb. A tremendous fake on a handoff to Cobb, and he is short of the 1st down by a yard. Great fake as he faked everybody out. Left the ball with Cobb. The Newport defense responded just in time. It's 4th down and 1, and the Jackets will go for this, I think.
Had to be the wraparound draw play. I didn't see it. I was totally faked out. And Wynn wants a timeout.
They fooled everybody. Glad some Greyhound defenders finally caught on. Timeout. Jackets will have the 4th and 1 play coming up in 30 seconds. Yard for the Jackets at the Newport 42, and they're going to go for it with 4:17 to go in the first half, tied at 7. You have to be careful of gambling too much here and them turning a 4th down play into a big one. Come on. Bronner leads them up there on 4th down. The give is to the tailback. 1st down and more for the Jackets. To the 35-yard line goes Rodney Cross. 1st down, Wynn at the 35-yard line. And their fans make a lot of noise across the way. Wynn moving into the wind. Well, it didn't bother Newport. They took it 87 yards. It hasn't bothered the Jackets on this drive, although it hasn't been a long drive yet. They started at their 48. They are at the Greyhound 36, we'll call it. First down, Jackets. Bonner, quick pitch left side. Meeben breaks one tackle. Meeben is hit, driven down, and there's a flag thrown behind the play. Great defense by the Hounds as Quincy Miller and Chris Young come up and stop Meeben for nothing. There is a flag thrown. And let's see, it's thrown on the backside of the play, and a lot of times that's clipping from the backside. The officials talk it over, and let's see, there was no gain on the play. The holding or clipping, we hold clipping against the Yellow Jackets. Back block. Blocking below the waist. 3:55 to go. First half, we're tied at 7. And the penalty will cost the Jackets some valuable real estate here. This game is for the AAA East Championship and for the #1 ranking in the state. 15-yard penalty for illegal block against the Jackets puts them back to their 49-yard line.
As you said, their drive started at the 48. That goes back into Wynn territory at the 49. It'll be first down at about 35.
And they're going to need about 22.
25.
Is that what it is? 22 from the spot of the foul. First and 22. 2 wide outs. Quarterback hands off inside, straight ahead. Cross will be driven down after a short gain of about 3 to the Newport 48. Gary Greer, Henry Valentine leading the defensive charge for Newport along with Mike Steiger. Second down and still about 20 needed for the first. 3:28 to go first half. Clock is moving. Yellow Jackets have the football. Second down and long. Second and 20. They're going into that win. Both teams on their second, third possessions used up a lot of clock. One split receiver to the right side. Quarterback drops straight back. He wants to throw down the middle, and it is overthrown. And boy, he had a man so wide open, it's unbelievable. Nobody on the tight end. Newport's middle linebacker, Darnell Morgan, trying to get back there, and David, he can't cover that guy, or is it James Griffin? He can't cover him. It's Griffin who was getting back there trying to make the coverage.
Derek Mars, he's 6 foot tall, 200 pounds, and he looks to be about 6'4" and about 235, and the kid can run. He was wide open.
Newport sent David Blunt on a stunt, and he fell down. He's about to get to the quarterback and kill him, but he falls down. Third down and long. 3:01 to go. First half, tied at 7.
Greyhound fans on their feet.
2 wide outs again. 2 backs behind the quarterback, Brawler. Pitches it to Meeben. Meeben has some running room. Meeben cuts it back and is hit hard and dropped by Chris Young, who comes up with a big tackle again at the 45-yard line. And it is Meeben who is a little slow getting up. And Chris Young has tattooed him twice in a row. Fourth down for the Jackets, who now I think will kick it.
I'm surprised that the Hounds don't call timeout here.
Clock is running down to 2:30 to go in the first half. Jackets going to punt formation. Hounds send 2 men back deep. And Hounds are very aware of the possibility of a fake, although it is 4th and really long. Here is the snap. They are going to kick it. He kicks a beautiful spiral into the wind, and McClure fields it and returns about 5 yards before he's driven down at the 20-yard line, so it'll be first down Hounds at the 20. With 2:09 to go, and Newport with the wind.
But we talked about whether or not you take the wind coming into the ball game. Newport's possessions have started at their own 20, their 13, their 13, their 18, and now they're 20 again.
So the Jackets have had all the benefit of the field position. And Newport will try to get something going with 2 minutes to go. I don't know if the Hounds are really going to try to get much going here, or if they're going to try to use up that last 2 minutes, stay out of trouble. Miller splits a man to the left side. 7-7 game. Miller handoff, fake handoff left side, wants to throw, firing it deep up the sideline, incomplete. Intended for either Pauls Grove or Reardon, and the ball was overthrown, and pretty good coverage by the Jackets. Wynn has a lot of people going both ways. Cross, Meeben, Cobb, David, that may tell in the second half.
We've talked about it all year long. The Hounds only with a couple of kids that play both ways, and it certainly could. The wear and tear of a hard-fought football game and a championship caliber game, and it's exactly what we've seen here in the first half.
Second down and 10 for the Hounds at their own 20 as Newport went for the home run ball. Wynn defended it quite well. Split receiver to the right side. Reardon goes in motion. There's a handoff straight ahead, short yardage off right guard. Hounds will get a couple on the play, and it is Ellis again carrying the football. Phillips hasn't gotten it much here tonight. Ellis has done the heavy work inside. Third down and 8 for the Greyhounds. Newport really now want that clock to run.
Tony's carried the ball about 7 times for 42 yards. 42 yards.
1:15 left in the first half, and the Hounds facing a 3rd and 8. And Miller will fake inside, wants to throw, fakes, now wants to go deep, fires it up for Darling. It is incomplete. 2 men all over Darling. And I thought Brian might have a chance at it down at the 35-yard line, and a nicely thrown ball, but just overthrown with the wind behind it. 1:02 to go now, and the Hounds have to give it up to the Jackets once again. And remember, Newport had its last punt partially blocked.
But another factor, you talk about the wear and the tear and how tired you get playing both ways. Both Meben and Cobb are having to run the long patterns along with our receivers, so they're getting a lot of sprints defensively.
Bill Keating knows what he's doing. He knows those guys are cold and wet and playing every play. Let's get a good punt here, guys.
10 men on the line for Wynn.
Get it out of there. There's a nice boomy kick. Now get out here and cover the thing. Meben will let it go. It will roll out of bounds at the 36-yard line of the Jackets. A beautiful punt by Reardon down to the 36, 37-yard line of the Jackets. With 54 seconds to go in the first half. And we'll see if the Jackets come out with a passing game here in the final 54 seconds. We are tied at 7.
Well, I watched Meben on the play. Once the ball was kicked, he just watched it. The kid is tired. Maybe he's saving up for the offensive play.
If you're the Newport defense, you have to be aware of the pass, but you know that they've got speed and they can pop it at any time. 1st and 10 Jackets at their 37-yard line. Here's a quick pitch, left side. Cross carries the ball. He gets good yardage before a bunch of Hounds grab him and knock him down. Pick up of about 5 or 6. Hound defense has played so much better since that first play, where Meben took it 75 yards for a score. The pickup is about 7. They'll make it 6, 2nd and 4, and the clock is down to 30 seconds. Continuing to move, the Jackets come to the line of scrimmage, and the Hounds have to hurry and get lined up defensively. Now they're set. Quick pitch right side to Cobb. Cobb trying to turn the corner. He's being chased and one down for a loss. Back to near the original line of scrimmage. They're going to skip him forward progress to the 30, I make it the 40-yard line of Wynn. The clock is running out. That is the end of the first half from Newport. And what a half of football we have seen. It's the Newport Greyhound 7, the Wynn Yellow Jackets 7. We'll be back with halftime in 2 minutes. Statistics.
Thank you very much, Bud. And it's a football game that's been a defensive struggle, and we thought it was going to be a defensive struggle coming into tonight's ball game. Wynn had 20 rushes for 161 yards in the first half, 75 of that coming on the big Meben run. Passing department 0 for 2, obviously for no yards. Total offense 161 yards for the Wynn Yellow Jackets. First downs for Wynn, they only had 3, and turnovers none for Wynn. Penalties, 4 penalties for 40 yards for the Wynn Yellow Jackets. Individual statistics, Cobb rushed the football 5 times for a -2 yards. And Meben 6 times for 143 yards and 1 touchdown. Statistics for Newport. Newport also carried the football 20 times for 92 yards, and the passing department 6 for 20 yards, total offense of 112. Newport picked up 6 first downs, most of those first downs coming on the big scoring drive. And turnovers, Newport had the 1 long interception. Miller had an interception. Penalties, Newport had 1 for 15 yards. individual rushing. Tony Phillips, who's number 2 in the state in rushing for the Newport Greyhounds, carried the ball 7 times for 42 yards. Chris Ellis 8 times for 10 yards and 1 touchdown. And Paul Miller running the option play 5 times for 40 yards. As we said, Miller was 2 out of 6 passing for 20 yards. So statistically, we're pretty close.
David, as we talked about, I don't think that either team, Wynn or Newport, in the AAA playoffs is going to see a tougher opponent than what they're each seeing here tonight. Both of these teams are outstanding, defensively and offensively. Newport has been hampered in its offense by the elements, the strong wind especially, unable to have that balanced passing attack where they can complete 7 or 8 passes a game. But you mentioned the key factor. Of course, the key play was a goal line stand by the Hounds, but the key factor may be that Wynn did look a little tired at the end of the second quarter, and Newport has momentum in the football game and have had momentum ever since the great goal line stand. Wynn could have put this football game away. I truly believe they led 7-0, and then on their first possession they scored on Meben's long run, got the ball back, took it down to the 1-yard line, and Newport stopped them at that point. A penalty really helped, a 5-yard procedure penalty. The Newport defense played exceptionally well and has played well since then. Meben's had one other decent run, but all in all, only 3 first downs for the Jackets, so I don't think that Herbert Lewis and Kenny Bryant are at all disappointed with their defense. Now the Hounds have to find a little offensive balance against these elements and put some points on the board and crank it up in the second half.
Well, the Newport defense, Brad, has come in tonight with a new defensive scheme that they worked on for the last 2 weeks, where they run an 8-man defensive front. What happens when they're rushing their guys on the end? They're really not the defensive ends according to the formation, but they are cornerbacks or linebackers lining up outside the defensive end, and they're crashing into the backfield. And on Meben's long run that he made the touchdown on, we missed the tackle. Well, we saw it last week twice against Mariana, come up to tackle either the quarterback or the pitchman, and we missed the tackle. If you're going to miss, you're gambling. You're gambling with an 8-man front. If you gamble and miss, they're going to score. Nobody's going to catch them. But if you gamble big time and you get in the backfield and you make the play, you can possibly cause a turnover, so you are taking a gamble either way.
I'd like to remind you that our broadcast tonight is fitted. It's Jesper. He's used to this kind of weather. He approaches the ball, drills it down the middle. It will bounce to Cobb at the 10-yard line. 15, 20, back up the middle, 25, 30, and across the 32 to near the 33-yard line.
Well, Bud, we go back to talking about how tired these kids may be. Cobb ran with no authority whatsoever. He just kind of nonchalantly just carried up there till he got hit and went down.
It's at the 33-yard line of the Jackets, 1st and 10. As we start the second half, Wynn going into the breeze. It's a 20 to 25 mile an hour wind out of the northwest. Jackets with that diamond T formation, full house backfield, 3 backs behind the quarterback, 2 tight ends. Here's a quick pitch to Cobb. Cobb cuts up inside and runs into the Newport defense for no gain or maybe a loss on the play. Big hit by Jimmy McClure leading the charge. Newport expected to make a lot of tackles from their outside men. And McClure is the dog man on this defense. He lines up on the outside, past the defensive end. So Wynn gets basically a yard. They give him 2nd down and 9 for Cobb. Boy, you need to hold them here. Make them punt into the wind. Quarterback Bronner has them set. There's a quick pitch left side. Now there's movement, and somebody moved on the interior line before the ball was snapped. And it is offside against the Greyhounds. That hurts. And Meben fumbled the ball, by the way. Well, when the whistle sounded, he probably took his eye off it. Hounds did jump a little bit, got into the neutral zone. That's smart. Instead of 2nd and 9, 2nd and 4.
So important to hold them without a first down and make them punt, and hopefully you'll get good field position. And if you don't, taking the wind that Newport had in the 3rd quarter does not pay off.
Wynn loves to grind it out, use up a lot of clock. 2nd and 4 for the Jackets. And they give 2nd back through. Hit hard. Meeben got hit after a gain of a yard. Really smothered by a host of Greyhounds.
Oh, that'll make a guy not want the football.
James Griffin, along with several others, making the key hit. It's 3rd and 3 for the Jackets at their 40-yard line.
As early as it is, you hate to call them big plays, but it is certainly that.
Full house backfield again for the Yellow Jackets. On 3rd down and 3. Quick pitch left side, big hole. Cross has the first down and into the secondary. Still going, and the Hounds finally get him down at the Newport 42-yard line. He ran through some Greyhound defenders there. And on 3rd and 3, the Jackets make the big play down to the Greyhound 41-yard line. It looks like Quincy Miller shaking up on the play. Miller only gives up about 50 pounds there to cross. It'll be first down for the Jackets. They have moved it against the Wynn. Controlled it the first 2 minutes of the 3rd quarter.
Wynn has not turned the football over all night. Newport only one time. That was early with the interception.
Quincy Miller, I believe it is, being tended to. Still down. He took a tough lick from Mr. Cross. Boy, that one opened up. You could see they were going to make some yards. This Wynn football team is a great football team, folks, as are the Greyhounds. And this has been a huge battle, 7-7 with 9:59 to go in the 3rd quarter. And right now our concern is for the Newport player down on the field. It has been a hard-hitting game on both sides of the ball. We'll hold it right here as the Greyhound coaches tend to Quincy Miller. He is up now on his feet. Being talked to by the coaches. He says, I'm just stunned, I'm okay. He'll walk off. 1st and 10, Yellow Jackets at the Newport 42, we'll call it. 9:59 to go, 3rd quarter, we're tied at 7.
They wouldn't fumble, would they?
Warner leads them up there. Newport, now movement, and someone jumped off sides, or did the Jackets move? Nope, Newport jumps off sides. Newport with a 6-man front. David, they've got some new people in there playing that 6th lineman position, and I think that's where the problem comes from. There have been 3 or 4 different players playing that position in the interior line. And this time again, the Hounds jump offside. It is that 6th man in the defensive line that's having fun. That's the kids that haven't played as much as the others this year. 1st and 5 for the Jackets at the Newport 37. Well, they've taken it against this Wynn and come right up the field. Here's the pitch to Cobb. Cobb cuts inside, has good yardage, hit hard fumble. It's still loose, and Newport says they've got it. Let's see. It is no indication yet. No indication yet. The Hounds look like they had it as Cobb got hit hard and fumbled. Newport! Greyhounds have recovered. David Black wanted to fumble. He got it. James Griffin comes up with a fumble recovery for the Greyhounds. At the 30-yard line of the Greyhounds. Now let's stickle. 9:31 to go, 3rd quarter. We're tied at 7, and the Hounds have recovered a fumble at their 30. Go ahead, ball, Hounds. Let's go now. I'm not at all excited. First down, Hounds. Split receivers, Hinkle to the right side. Miller barking signals. Miller handoff. Here's Phillips. Phillips turning the corner. Tony has 5 yards as he runs through some folks. Good running across the 35 to the 36. A pickup of 6 for Tony Phillips. Hounds have to keep the ball in his hands, David Black.
You said it at halftime. You've got to get the ball in his hands. He only carried the football 7 times in the first half.
A pickup of 6 for Phillips at his 2nd down and 4. And if Tony can hurt him inside, then that will open up the passing game for Paul Miller. 8:52, 3rd quarter, clock moving. We're tied at 7. Newport 2nd down and 4. Across its 35-yard line. Handoff left side. Ellis is driven down for a loss at the 35. Just nothing there. Penetration by the Wynn defense. It'll be 3rd down and 5 for the Greyhounds from the 35-yard line. Wynn defense has been tough, just like Newport's. Call it the 36, still 3rd and 4, no game. 8:20 remaining, 3rd quarter. We're tied at 7. Newport and Wynn at Greyhound Field for the AAA East Conference Championship. Third down and 4 Greyhounds. Full house backfield. Split receiver to the right side. Miller fakes inside. Now hands on. Now wants to throw deep. Firing deep for Darling. And it is overthrown. The Wynn got that one. Darling was behind the defender down at the 20-yard line. But with that wind, boy, it really sailed that ball. And Miller can throw it a mile anyway. And the Wynn got underneath that one and carried it way past everybody. 8 minutes left, third quarter. Hounds have to kick it. Now you want to pin them deep. Fourth down and 4 from Newport's own 36-yard line.
You're in a situation here where you want to pin them deep. You want to get the ball off, but you don't want to out-kick your coverage. So what do?
Here's the snap. Green gets it. Here is his kick. It is end over end, and it will bounce. And Meben will come up underneath it at the 20-yard line. Back to the left. Got some running room. Here's Meben to the 40. He may go. He runs into Newport defenders. This is hit hard at the 40-yard line. Newport fans yelling for a clip, but I don't think there was one coming. And Meben got hit hard, but he got it back to the 40.
And he's still lying down. He is slow to get up.
Meben has really taken some punishment in this football game. He gets it to the 41 of the Jackets, 1st and 10.
He's staggering back to the huddle right now. Let's see if he wants off the field. He raises his hand to Coach Campbell and says, get somebody in here for me. He took a big shot.
Rodney Cross comes in there. Oh, is Cross already in? That's a new guy in, number 33, and it's Vince Beasley, the fine sophomore who's been playing on defense. Jackets have it at their 41, 1st and 10, tied 7-7, 7:40 to go third quarter. Bonner sets them. Here's a quick pitch to Cobb. Cobb trying to turn the corner. He's hit it on down for the ball. Darnell Morgan is out there for the Greyhounds along with Chris Young. A loss of 4, 2nd and 14 for the Jackets.
Depth is going to play the big part in this football game. Wynn looks to be a tired football team.
2nd and 14 for the Jackets. They're back at their 37-yard line. 7 minutes to go, third quarter. We're tied at 7 at Greyhound Field in Newport. Here come the Jackets to the line of scrimmage on 2nd down and 14. Bonner sets him, gives straight ahead. He's hit and dropped, and the ball might have come free. It is picked up by the Greyhounds. Gary Graham. Newport has recovered. Gary Graham picked it up for the Greyhounds. And more the Hounds are passing some licks on the awesome threesome. Newport kids are hammering them every time they touch it. Too legit to quit. Hammer them, baby.
Who was the kid?
First down, Greyhounds at the 47 of the Jackets in a 7-7 game. Come on, Hounds, move that thing in there. First down, Greyhounds at the Wynn 47-yard line. Full house backfield. Miller gives to Phillips. Phillips up inside. Tony gets a couple. That's all before his knees are knocked out from underneath him. 2nd down and 8 for the Hounds. Newport with the wind. It is a 15 to 20 mile an hour steady wind out of the west-northwest. 2nd and 8.
Newport in the first half, what success they had running the football. It was the option play with Miller.
Hounds trying to take the lead. They're at the 35-yard line of Wynn. 2nd down, though, and 8. Power formation to the right side. Paul Miller, the quarterback, fakes inside. Miller wants to throw. It is overthrown, incomplete. Too high intended for Darling on the out pattern. And the wind is really playing havoc with Miller trying to throw the football. It's just nearly impossible to throw it in these conditions. Boy, Darling was wide open, but the ball was well over his head. Paul throws the ball so strongly, so hard that with the wind, David, it's hurting him. He's throwing it better into the wind.
But it's 3rd down and 8. And I would think at the 35-yard line, Newport would be in 4-down territory.
5:52 to go, third quarter. We're tied at 7 on 3rd and 8. What can the Hounds come up with? Draw play, left side. Phillips is short of the first down to the 31-yard line. It'll be 4th and 4 for the Hounds. Maybe 4th and 5, depending on the spot, as Newport ran the draw play to Phillips. The draw play, quick pitch counter, we call it. Take the quick pitch and hand it to Bubba up inside. 4th and 4 for the Hounds at the 31 of the Jackets. This would be a good time for Newport to run its offside play, and the Jackets are aware of that, and the Hounds come to the line on 4th and 4. Split receiver is to the left side. That's Darling. Reardon in motion. Option play. Miller is going to be hit and dropped, and Wynn holds on defense, and they get the big defensive play. The 36-yard line, we'll call it, of the Jackets. 1st and 10 in a 7-7 football game. Wynn fumbled twice in the 3rd. Actually, they lost 2 of 3. But the Hounds couldn't take advantage of it. Jackets are set. Quick pitch to Cross. Cross hit and dropped for a loss. Gary Greer from behind has him. 10:50 to go in the game.
Greer lining up in between the offensive center and the offensive left guard did not get blocked, causing havoc in the Wynn backfield.
A loss of 4, 2nd down and 14. Hounds would love to try to pin them back there deep. Of course, Wynn has the advantage of the wind where they can kick it out of there. Ball's at their 33-yard line. 2nd down, we'll make it 13. Officially, quarterback dropping straight back, being pressured, fires deep over the middle, is intercepted. Alvin Dickens in midfield, the 45, Dickens to the 40, Dickens down at the 39-yard line of the Wynn Yellow Jackets. The ball popped free, but Newport recovers it anyway at the 40-yard line. 1st down Greyhounds after Dupins intercepted the pass for the Newport Greyhounds secondary. And it's 1st down Hounds at the 40, and another Wynn player is down. But David, the Hounds have been unable to move the ball so far.
Well, that's the 3rd turnover that Wynn has given the Greyhound offense here in this half. Newport must take advantage right here. The fans are on their feet. We're playing for a conference championship, 2 of the best AAA teams in the state of Arkansas. You could be watching a state championship game here tonight.
Tied at 7 with 10:17 to go in the game, and the Hounds will start at the 40 going into the Wynn. They had it a moment ago with the Wynn at the Jacket 35. Couldn't do anything with it. Wynn defense has met the challenge, as has the Newport defense. 1st down Hounds at the 40. It's tough to move that ball. Here's a option play. Miller will get 2, 3, and be driven down after about 3 yards on the carry on the option play to the left side. Boy, you'd think, that the Hounds could move it some against this tough defense, as tired as Wynn must be here in the 4th quarter. But David, they're a great defensive football team, and defenses win championships. And Newport's offense, of course, limited in the cold, trying to throw the football in the cold and the wind. I'm surprised the Hounds had lined up and double tight ends and gone at them. Split receiver to the right side, 2nd and 6. Miller fakes inside, wants to throw into the flat. It is called by Darling at the 26-yard line. He fell down and caught it on his knees at the 26. And the Jackets cannot defend that pass. The out pattern for a 1st down for the Greyhounds at the 26. 9:27 to go, and the football game, and that's the first down of the 2nd half by the Greyhounds. Bill Hinkle brings the play in. 7-7 football game here at Newport with 9:20 to go in the game. The Hounds have a great chance at the Yellow Jacket 26-yard line after Alvin Dupin's interception of a Wynn pass. Power set to the left side. Paul Miller has one back there. That's Phillips. And the give is to Tony. Tony trying to turn the corner, cuts up, and he breaks one tackle and fights for a yard. That's about all he's going to get to the 25-yard line. Give him 2, 2nd down, and at the 24, 2nd down and 8.
A stingy defense by the Yellow Jackets.
Hounds are fixing to hit a big play here and get a touchdown. We're fixing to fool them, folks. 8:40 to go in the football game. Tied at 7. 8:40 to go in regulation. 8.5 minutes left. 2nd down and 8. Darling split to the right side. Draws single coverage out there by Meben. Miller fakes inside. Miller fakes and wants to throw to Darling in the end zone. It is caught at the 1. Cobb, did he catch it at the 1-yard line? A great catch by Darling at the 1-yard line. At the 2, make it between the 1 and the 2-yard line.
Darling had to come back on the football. The pass was a little underthrown. Neben looked like he might have a chance to intercept the football. A tremendous Brian Darling catch put the Hounds inside the 5-yard line at the 1 or 2. We'll call it the 2.
Now punch it in there, gotta punch it in. This Wynn defense is very, very tough. Power set to the left side. On 1st and goal from the 2-yard line. They give to Phillips. Phillips trying to run over people. Bubba to the 1-inch line. Oh, I couldn't believe he didn't get in there. He's right on top of the goal line. It'll be 2nd and goal. Bubba Phillips running hard trying to get there. 2nd down in inches for the Greyhounds. Inches. 7:45 to go in the football game. 7-7 tie. 2nd and goal from the 3-inch line. And now the officials are tending to a Wynn player who has an equipment adjustment. 2nd and goal, Greyhounds at the 3-inch line.
But they're going to have to stop me 3 times with a quarterback sneak.
Hounds rehuddling now. 7:45 left. The clock starts to move. We're tied at 7.
I'd run it right in behind Hembry and Rutledge, or possibly Rutledge and Steiger.
Miller has them up there. Power set to the left side. Here's Miller straight ahead. Bubba dive. Touchdown! Tony Phillips dives in for the touchdown. And Newport takes the lead. 13-7. And the Hounds get the kicking team onto the field to try the extra point. 13-7 as Phillips scores from less than a yard out. The touchdown comes with 7:24 left in the game. The Hounds will go for 1. McClarty to snap it. Charlie Moore has to hold and get it down on that tee. Jesper has to kick it through there. Ball is down. Bad snap. Kick up. And kick is good. Oh, what a great job by Charlie Moore to get the snap down. He was 3 feet behind him. And the Hounds lead 14-7 with 7:24 to go in the game. Back with a kickoff in 30 seconds.
It's really an honor to be recognized as the best at whatever you do. At U.S. Pizza Company, we thank you for naming us as Arkansas's best pizza. The readers and voters in the popular Arkansas Times Magazine annual poll said U.S. Pizza at Newport was the best in Northeast Arkansas. And we'll continue to do things right at U.S. Pizza Company. Great crust, more toppings, fast service, and very reasonable prices. Get more, pay less at Arkansas's best. U.S. Pizza Company, 67 North.
It was Alvin Dupin's interception that turned it around, but Miller throwing the ball made the difference to Darling.
And Darling catching the ball.
2 great catches by Darling. I don't think the Hounds will kick this real deep. I think Jesper might try to drive it along the ground to him down there. Into the Wynn. He kicks it pretty well. Hits it to 15. Gets past the man to the 10. Back to the 5-yard line is Cobb. Cobb running to the outside to the 10, to the 20. Hit, breaks the tackle, and now run out of bounds at the 25, between the 25 and 30-yard line. 1st down for the Jackets. At that point, and Newport has to hold them with 7:16 to go in the game. Hounds lead by 7, 14-7.
But I can't remember as hard a fought ball game, or hardest hitting ball game, even the great Newport-Dollaway matchups. I don't believe those games were as hard fought as far as defensive hitting as this one has been. Come on, defense.
1st down for the Jackets at their 26-yard line. They do have the wind at their back. The quarterback is Bronner. Quick pitch left side, cross, has some running room, breaks a couple of tackles, and then spun down after a gain of 5. Maybe 6 on the carry. Give him about 5, but hold everything now. A penalty against the Greyhounds, a face mask, and that'll cost 15, and that hurts. And that'll move it out to near midfield. After the nice pickup by Cross, the big penalty will move the ball out to the Wynn. 47-yard line.
All 3 running backs, Bud, for Wynn are all walking to the huddle now, but I was looking at them, and they were leaned over. They had their hands on their knees. They were gasping for air. Do they have enough in them to break a long one?
7 minutes left. Newport leads 14-7. First down, Wynn at their 47-yard line. Jacket quarterback drops back, wants to throw over into the flat. It is incomplete, intended for Cobb, and he bobbled it. If he caught it, he made about 15, but Darnell was there along with Griffin to make the play, but he dropped it.
Coming into tonight's ball game, Wynn has not had, they've really not had to throw the football, and now they're in a situation where they may have to throw it tonight.
6:51 left in the game. Hounds by 7, 14-7. In a tremendous high school football game. I tell you what, I know there's some good AAA teams in the state, including Searcy. It's going to take some football team to beat either one of these. 2nd and 10 for the Jackets. Let's see if they go back to their running game. Yes, the handoff is to Beasley. Beasley has about 6 or 7 yards off left tackle. A good run by Vince Beasley, the sophomore. He's played the entire ball game on defense. David played just in the second half on offense. His legs are a little fresher. 3rd and 4. 6.5 minutes to go for the Jackets. 3rd and 4 at the Newport 47-yard line. They got to go to the 43. Hold'em Hounds. Newport leads 14-7. 6:20 to go in the game. Yellow Jackets with the ball. Quick pitch to Cross. He is hit once, twice, and spun down short of the first down. He did not get it. It'll be 4th down for the Jackets. David, let's see if they go forward to try to punt Newport into a hole and get Newport deep with 6 minutes to go.
It's going to be 4th and 2, Bud, and I don't think they have any other choice but to go for it. If they punt the football, Newport has the capability of running out the clock.
I'd kick it. I'm sorry, I'd kick it. Try to pin them down inside the 5 on a wet field against the wind. Even if you hold them on defense, they get a 20-yard kick. You got the ball at the 30. I would go for it. I would kick it, but Wynn looks like they're going to go for it on 4th down and 2. Here's the handoff, and he didn't get it. He did not make it. Newport is held. Newport is held on defense. The Greyhounds have stopped them at the 44-yard line, and it is 1st down for the Newport Greyhounds as the defense has held them again. And the Greyhounds have it at their 45-yard line. Tremendous defensive effort. 5:29 to go in the game. 14-7, the Greyhounds have the lead. And the Hounds want to use up this final 5:23. They, of course, would love to get another score, but they want to hold on to the ball and use that clock up. They'll have to make some 1st downs. Split receiver to the right side. Miller on the handoff. Bubba Phillips to the outside. Phillips has 10. Phillips is to the 30. He's to the 45. He's to the 20. He's to the 5. Phillips, touchdown. Now they may say he stepped out of bounds. I think they're going to say he stepped out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. They say he stepped out of bounds back up between the 15 and 20-yard line. Another Wynn player is down on the play, but Bubba Phillips with a tremendous run around left end. How about it? The Hounds are asking for help from the fans.
All you folks with the radio, encourage everybody to stand up and cheer.
He's out of bounds at the 17-yard line. 1st down for the Greyhounds at the Wynn 17. A Wynn player being assisted off the field. 5:02 to go in the game. Hounds lead 14-7. And Newport with a 1st down at the 17-yard line. 5:02 left in the game. Hounds lead by 7. Miller leads them up there. 3 backs behind him. On 1st down from the 17, the give is to Ellis, and Ellis will get 2 to the 15 before he is driven back. It'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Hounds from the 15-yard line. The Channel 4 bunch is here. The Democrat Gazette is here. Channel 8 is here. Done some live coverage before and after the game. It's the game of the year in Northeast Arkansas. And an official's timeout. One of the Wynn players with a knee pad that has come loose. Pickup of only 2. 2nd and 8 for the Hounds from the 15-yard line. Newport leading 14-7.
And Bud, who would have thought it with 9:22 to play in the first quarter that the Hounds would have the lead after Meben ran 75 yards on their first offensive play, and it looked as though we were going to see an offensive performance by the Wynn Yellow Jackets tonight. Boy, what a defensive battle. Come on, Hound Dogs.
Clock moves, 4:37 to go. It's the most important thing right now. Hounds lead by 7. 2nd and 8 at the Wynn 15-yard line. Here's Miller. Miller option play left side. Paul to the 12, dives to the 11-yard line. He's got to go down to about the 7 for a first down. It'll be 3rd down and 5 for the Hounds from the 12. The clock is down to 4:12. It'll be inside 4 minutes when the Hounds snap it on 3rd down. Newport leads 14-7. And a very, very important 3rd down and 5 play for the Hounds from the 12-yard line. Darling goes split to the right side. 3:50 left as the Hounds come to the line. Long count. Hounds on the offside play. Wynn doesn't jump. Hounds ask for the timeout. 3:46 to go. Newport leads 14-7. Let's pause 30 seconds for this. 3rd down and 5, and let's see what Bill Keaty's come up with. 3:46 to go in the game. Newport by 7. Paul Miller has them set. Miller on the draw play to Phillips. He's hit in the backfield and run down for a loss. So it'll be 4th down for the Hounds, and they're going to need several for the first as Tony loses a yard to the 13. 4th down, and Newport sends in the kicking team. Jesper Jerb is apparently going to attempt a field goal. How are things up on the hill?
Oh, they're doing
good. Brother Gensel here during the game.
I came down here to see if they played like you and I played when we played.
King Gensel and I 40 years ago when we played. The Hounds are going to try a field goal of 30 yards. David, I don't know. Do you like this?
Only if he makes it.
Jesper will try it. Ball is down. Kick is up and blocked. Newport man gets it, but Wynn will keep the ball. That's what you feared. Wynn blocking it, picking it up, and running with it. Woo! So Wynn will have another chance with 3:06 to go in the game as they block the attempted field goal by Newport. I really didn't think Bill would do that. It really surprises me. So it's up to the Newport defense. It's not over yet, folks. Greyhounds will go to Batesville next Friday night. I will. Go up there and try to beat up on Kiki Gensel's alma mater. We got to win this one, guys. 2:55 to go. 1st down. Jacket quarterback drops back. Fires up the field. It is overthrown, intended for Cobb, and had it been there, he would have scored because he can outrun anybody we got. The ball was overthrown. This is scary. 2nd down and 10 with 2:50 to go in the game. If the Hounds can hold them right here, I think it's over. But you got to hold them here. Hold them, Hounds, hold them. Newport trying to go 9-0 and keep its #1 ranking in Class AAA. Pressure, tension.
Meben now lines up as a split end to the right side.
Jackets have the ball at their 16-yard line. Quarterback Bronner goes back. He's hit as he throws. It is overthrown, incomplete. Don't let anybody get behind you, guys. Get back here and play a 5-man, 6-man prevent. 3rd down and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. From there, they've got them at the 17-yard lines where it is. 2:44 left. Newport by 7, 14-7. 3rd and 10 for Wynn at their 17-yard line. They've tried to throw it twice, unsuccessfully. Got to remember they got those guys that can pop on and go too, even being tired. And they have the Hounds pass conscious. Brian Darling's in there, the defensive back, along with Chris Young. Quarterback, quick pitch, left side, cross hit, breaks the tackle, will not break the 2nd tackle. He's dropped at the 20. 4th down and 7 for the Jackets. And the Wynn Yellow Jackets will have to go for it here, I think, on 4th and 7 from their 20. This could be the football game. Timeout Wynn. with 4th and 7 coming up from their 20, and let's pause 30 seconds for this timeout.
At First State Bank of Newport, we have a way of spoiling our customers. Take our preferred
Secondary, Darnell Morgan drops back in a deep safety position. And let's see if they throw it. They fake out into the flat, now throw it out into the flat. It is caught. He is hit once, twice, dropped it. Great defense by James Griffin. They tried to run a hitch pass out into the flat, and the Hounds stop them for no gain on the play. Greyhounds have held and will take over first down with 2:20 to go in the football game at the Wynn 21-yard line.
The Wynn Yellow Jackets on the first offensive play of the night went 75 yards for their 7 points, and that's all they get.
I hope that's all they get. They mark the ball down at the 23-yard line. The Hounds have to run out 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Newport will take some time in the huddle. I'm not aware of the timeout situation. Don't know exactly how many the Jackets have. Hounds just want to run 2 minutes off the clock. 2:01, now 2 minutes. First down for the Greyhounds. Miller straight ahead. Phillips has a couple of 3 yards before he's knocked down at the 20-yard line. And the clock continues to roll. David, if the Jackets have times out, they're not using them.
They've got 2, I think.
Now a timeout is called by the Yellow Jackets. Miller fakes left, rolls right. Paul Miller to the 20. Miller keeps to the 15. Miller to the 10. Miller to the 5-yard line and down inside the 5. First and goal for the Greyhounds with 1:41 to go on the bootleg by Miller. Yard line. The Hounds have to run out 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Newport will take some time in the huddle. I'm not aware of the timeout situation. Don't know exactly how many the Jackets have. Hounds just want to run 2 minutes off the clock. 2:01, now 2 minutes. First down for the Greyhounds. Miller straight ahead. Phillips has a couple of 3 yards before he's knocked down at the 20-yard line. And the clock continues to roll. David, if the Jackets have times out, they're not using them.
They've got 2, I think.
Now a timeout is called by the Yellow Jackets. Miller fakes left, rolls right. Paul Miller to the 20. Miller keeps to the 15. Miller to the 10. Miller to the 5-yard line and down inside the 5. First and goal for the Greyhounds with 1:41 to go on the bootleg by Miller.
Great call by Bill Keaty. 1:31 to play in the ball game, and the Hounds picked up another first down inside the 5-yard.
15 to go. Hold on to the ball. Let it run. Miller with the long count now. Miller to Tony Phillips. Phillips, touchdown. Phillips with a couple of cuts off left tackle in for the score to make it 20-7 Greyhounds. With 1:05 left. And the extra point attempt coming by Denmark. Now Newport will get its kickoff team together and talk to them about not letting anything big happen.
5-0 in conference play. Newport going for it all early. Danny Burnett there for the acrobatic interception for Wynn. Wynn's first offensive play, they silenced the crowd. Eugene Mabon up the middle, stretches those long legs out, goes 75 yards, 7-0 Wynn. Still in the first quarter. This guy was a nightmare for the Greyhounds. Guess who? It's Anthony again. This time he's thinking 6 more. Breezes by a photographer down the sideline. He'll be stopped deep in Greyhound territory. The big defensive play. Do it, Henry Valentine on 4th and goal. That was a huge play. Newport comes back to win this ball game. The final 21-7. They remain undefeated. Good matchup in the stadium.
Eugene Maybone hits the hole and goes the distance. 74 yards for the touchdown. 7-0 Yellow Jackets. Bill Keaty would then rally his troops, but it was again Maybone taking this one outside, going around the right side, this time down the sideline, all the way to the 1-yard line. But it was there that Herbert Lewis's defense came up big. As here, Henry Valentine comes up big with the hit on 4th and goal. It's Greyhound ball. As Chris Ellis takes it in from short range, the two teams would then go in at halftime, tied at 7 apiece. Then after a scoreless third quarter, Newport went to their go-to man. It was Tony Phillips, up and over. The fumble came after he crossed the goal line, 14-7 Hounds. And then it would be Tony Phillips again as the crowd got into it. Tony Phillips would again take this one around the left side. Newport takes sole possession of the 3A East Conference, winning 21-7 tonight. They improved to 9-0 on the season and 6-0 in conference play. And joining me, we had a lot of good defense here. This is Herbert Lewis, the defensive coordinator. A lot of good defense, especially in that third quarter.
Yeah, I think the goal line stand right there in the first half was one of the turning points of the ball game. But we thought that all along that if we out-hit them, that sooner or later they would have to give it down because they 4 or 5 players going both ways. And I think, like I said, the goal line stand right there in the first half was a turning point of the ball game.
Let me get some of the stars of this game in here. We've got Darnell Morgan and Joey Embry. Darnell, you being a linebacker, saw a lot of hitting tonight, didn't you?
Yes, sir. Well, I knew it was going to be a very physical game, so Coach told us to get together, you know, and so we got together and put it to him.
Let me get Joey in here. Joey, an offensive tackle, you opened up some holes, especially in that first half.
Oh, yeah, our offensive line just took control of the game in the second half, and we come out strong and scored a couple touchdowns to go up 21-7, and we just took the game.
Best of luck to you next week as you travel to Batesville. That's all from here. Newport 21, Wynn 7. Back to you, Dick.